I think at that point, the IFA was like, okay, we're going to take this opportunity to restructure and make things better, which is definitely what they have done this year. They have 6 teams now.
Welcome everyone to the Mic Check Show. Today I continue my kind of East Coast Ontario tour with the one, the only, Brandon Boax. Boax,
Nice
right?
to meet you, everybody. Boax, yeah.
Oh, damn it. You got me confused earlier. Boax. That's it.
It
Boax.
comes off so much easier. It's like it looks the way that it sounds.
Exactly. All right, now tell everyone about the nickname for that last name.
So when I was in the States for the Tennessee Hornets, the defensive coordinator automatically thought it was Boax, and he's like, "Oh, I love that." He's like, "Oh yeah, drop the axe," like. So it like kind of stuck as I was out there, and now even that I'm on the new team.
1 second.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. We're back.
Now that I'm even on the new team, they've also taken to that. Like when they do posts and stuff, they'll add the axe in there. I'm like, okay, that's just a thing. I feel like at this point.
Gonna say it's not bad for a nickname.
Yeah, no, especially because I am on defense too. It's kind of fitting. Like I'm known for heavy hitting, so I fuck with it. I just like let it happen after a certain point. Especially they were like, oh, he's like, I don't even care. He's like, you're just Boax now. I'm like, all right, that's fine.
There you go. Bringing down the axe.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start at the beginning. So after high school, you took some time off of football. You became a personal trainer. What was the main reason for you taking all that time off?
Well, I feel like coming out of high school, it wasn't like really a big thing for me that I was gonna be like doing very much with football. So I just kind of like focused on like I went to college for a little bit and then jumped around jobs and ended up being a personal trainer. And that kind of led to me just like being in like for me peak physical shape. And I was just kind of sitting there, like I'm in great shape, I'm strong. Like it's like, what am I doing with this? So I was like, I'm gonna do something. And I have like a background in kickboxing as well too. But I was like, okay, so I'm gonna do one or the other. And then I know a player that was on that team at the time, and he's like, oh, come out. So I decided to do that, and then got a nice warm welcome by Coach Cause that really made me kind of stick around through it.
Oh, perfect. So was the transition back to football easy, conditioning wise? Because I know
Oh yeah, for
MMA
sure.
wise
Like
and football conditioning is completely different.
oh, 100%. Yeah. I feel like I was just already kind of like so just like athletically like structured with the way that I was doing things. Like I was training like an athlete before I was even like becoming an athlete. So when I came in, I was like, oh, like I feel good. Like and like even like obviously like strength was my bigger thing, but like I didn't feel like I was really out of breath a lot of times because of the way that I trained already.
There we go. Gonna say when I went back last year, yeah, that was my issue because I did nothing. And it's like, all right, you got like 2 weeks to get ready for football. I'm like, oh, geez.
Get some extra sprints in there, early morning running.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so in 2023, you played for the Hamilton Jags. Since you switched from DB in high school, why did you start off as a running back with the Jags? And what was your experience with them too?
So biggest thing for me of why I made the switch. So when I was growing up and when I played in high school, like my two favorite people, I'm a Vikings fan, was Adrian Peterson and Jared Allen. So I had the experience of junior football in high school playing D end. But when I was like thinking about switching over to running back in my high school, we were already kind of like set at running back where like the coaches already had their guys that they like. So I never really got like a fair shake at it. So going back into it, I was like, now I have the opportunity. It's a clean slate. I'm like, I'm just going to go for that. And I was like, oh, this is the opportunity to kind of like feel that out and actually get a chance to do something that I've wanted to do. As for like my experience with the Jags, it was great. Like I said, in the last question, like when I came in, I was so openly welcomed by Coach Cause that I just felt like immediately part of the team. Like right off the bat, he just the presence that he had of me coming in there was just like so welcoming. So yeah, that was a great season for me too. Like obviously, like I started off at running back. Um, but then eventually made the switch to corner again. We had a game where we played in Sault Ste. Marie, and we were kind of short guys. So I ended up playing both ways. So I played actually receiver, and then I also played corner because they're like, "Oh, well, you have experience in it, so like we'll try you out there." And then I played corner, and they're like, "Why are you on the offense? You're now corner."
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, you're clearly way better at this. But it was a great experience playing with the Jags. Like getting to play with a lot of like really great athletes on that team. You know, just to name a few of like Nikita Whitlock was our running back for that team. Getting to play on the defense with Dustin Murray and Swish Spring, and then other guys like Aquelius Jack. It's just like a lot of good talents to like start off of on a team with and like really learn from a lot of those guys.
Okay, nice. So guess like quite a pitch for the Jags.
Yeah.
Um, what league are they in again?
They were in the NFC. So the Jags took over for the Patriots, the Steel City Patriots. So they basically were the rebranded version of that. And they had 2 seasons and then the team folded as like everything was switching over of like NFC switched into like the Power Five and everything started to get kind of messy. Then I feel like kind of got replaced by the Burlington Longhorns, which is in the Power Five league now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right now it's complete chaos.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Yeah.
finally coming together now. That it looks like the NFC is kind of done, and everybody's just kind of coming into the Power Five. I know North Bay and GTA just made the switch over, so I think there's maybe 1 or 2 teams left in the NFC. So I think that's it for them.
Oh yeah, yeah. You definitely need more than two teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. So in the off season, you played for Team Canada against the U.S. in the MIFA league. One, what is that for the viewers that don't know? And two, what was your experience like with that?
So MIFA is an organization that is just trying to like further people in football careers. So they every summer they do the bowl game. Usually Canada versus US. Just recently because they were trying to make the switch over to being Team World because that is their like main team because they take Team World and do bowl games elsewhere outside of the Summer Bowl. So they were trying to make the switch over to having Team World versus a US based team. But something happened, something to do with like the team having problems coming over or something like that, which I think they're fixing over for this year. But yeah, so they do that every summer, just to kind of like showcase, you know, not only Canadian talent but then American talents, and just trying to like get everybody's name out there. They do a lot though, like not only the bowl game, they have a women's team as well too, and they travel all over the place, and they're like kind of like putting women's football on the map, which I think is like such a great thing. Like there's so many good female athletes that play on that team, and as well as they do a youth flag football as well too. So they're really just doing a lot over there. It's just a really great football organization that Liston has put together.
That was awesome. So for that, do you have to pay to play, or is it kind of like funded?
Yeah, you pay a little bit of an amount just for like setting up the field rentals and things, and like everything that goes into it. And then you get your film and everything out of it. It is a really great opportunity, and it's like to the amount that you have to pay is worth everything that comes from it.
Okay. Is it something that you get recruited for, or it's like, hey, I found this, let's try it out?
Yeah, usually reach out to Liston and be like, hey, I would like to come out, and he'll take a look at like who you are, and like your experience and such, and you'll go from there. And there is times he'll just like reach out and recruit people as well too. Like how I got onto it is they were looking for corners. And it was right after my season with the Jags, so they had talked to everybody like, oh, like hey, they need. I think it was corners and running backs at the time. So I just reached out to him, told him who I was, sent him my film, and he's like, "Oh, okay, awesome, yeah, come out." And it actually ended up winning defensive MVP for that game too.
Nice. Guess I saw a pickup by them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
kicker.
shut down Team America's number one receiver. I think he had one good catch the whole game, and then got shut down right after that.
There we go. It was a bit of a flip by him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was not warm, and then because it was his first catch, and then but after that, it was done.
There we go. So something that's really interesting about that is Mifa took you to China.
Yeah.
What was your experience going there?
Oh man, the China trip was unreal. Like even just the whole thing of like flying across the world just to go play football is just like such a crazy thing that you don't think of like doing ever in your life. The trip itself was awesome. Like being over in China and like seeing how they live, and like they have like their food is really great over there, and just like a really cool culture, like getting to just travel around there. And then not only like that part of it, but like the football part of like when we had our practices, the field that we were practicing on was in like this like super like gorgeous like area, like nice buildings all around it, like trees, like we're in the mountains and stuff. And that's ended up where we ended up playing the game too, which was really cool. It was a little bit tough uh, due to like the altitude change and then the smog in the air. The
Yep.
first quarter was a tough breathing quarter. I
Oh,
eventually
sweet.
caught my second wind, but
Yeah.
it was cool playing the athletes out there. Like we got to play against the Hong Kong Warhawks. And it was an interesting thing to see how athletes are like on the other side of the world. Like they came out with like a 60-man roster. And they were all like very like fundamentally like sound. Like you could tell they've really been like learning football.
Mhm.
Um, I think where we just kind of had them was in like the athleticism. Like we are just a little bit bigger, faster, stronger kind of thing. But they definitely have really like taken to football, and not even to mention that they have like 100 semi-pro teams out there or something like that we had discussed with them. And they said like every team has 100 people go out for those teams. Like it's real serious out there.
Jeez. I think we need to bring some of those guys to Canada because there's some teams that
Yeah,
can't even field like 20 people, while they have
I
like a
it's
hundred.
crazy. Like literally like, and then they roster 60, so then there's still 40 people that aren't getting rostered. It's just wild. And yeah, there's teams that don't even have 20 guys on there or something, like it's like what is happening.
All right. Well, they do have a bigger population than we do, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
So, what was the result of that game? Like, did you guys win, or was it a close one?
Yeah, I think we won. I think the score was 33-16.
Okay.
So they had a hard fought game. But like I said, just came down to us just being a little bit more like physically gifted.
Oh yeah. There you go. Representing Canada.
Yeah,
Anyways, so I have to say your football journey is quite what's the word, different from most people, because now we're going to talk arena league. So you played
yeah.
with us in Ohio Blitz. How did you get involved with that?
So that was like, this is what I think is like really one of the benefits of like playing with MIFA and Team World. So the quarterback that I played with in Hong Kong, he's from the States. His name is Chaz Russell. He's like a top recruit coming out of college football, and has his own football program now in Russ Prep. He when I came back, I'd been talking to him, and he's like, "Oh, well, like, if you're looking for more opportunity, I have this opportunity with Ohio Blitz," because he knew those people from out there. So I went after I came back. I think it was like a couple of weeks afterwards. I drove out to Ohio and played the last game of their season with them because I think they were just like short by injuries and stuff like that. And then when they came around to their next season, that's when I got Austin involved. And it was like, because he was talking to me about like, oh, like, looking for opportunities and stuff. And I was like, I'll send your stuff over right now, and I'll get you involved in this. I know like his talent level already. And from me playing the game with them, they knew that I knew what I was talking about. So when I said, hey, like, I got a guy, and he's really good. They took my word for that, and they signed him immediately, and we played that season out with them, and then ended up actually getting to play with the Ohio Warlocks as well too for their playoff game.
Nice.
Mm.
Um, so is that like a semi-pro league, or like do you actually get
Yeah,
paid to
that
play?
that one is a semi-pro league. Me and him ended up getting paid for playing the last game because we were like, oh well, they're coming from Canada, so like we're the only guys like, which I feel like is very common for like any of the states teams. Like when I played with the Hornets too, as the only Canadian on that team.
Yeah, they gotta make it worth your while.
Yeah, exactly.
So, of course, playing for Ohio Blitz has helped you move on to the was it GTIFL. Jeez, long name. Anyways, so really helped you transition to that. How's that been for you, especially this season so far?
I think the GTIFL is a very good league. Obviously, they're a little bit newer and still going maybe through some like growing pains and stuff like that. But I think like what they're doing with it is really great. And it's going to create a lot of great opportunities. Like I feel like I think it's 3 years now that they've been in. This would be the third year. Have already like made leaps and bounds, and it's really great for Ontario. Like I know, at least in my personal opinion, like finding opportunities for football in Canada is, a little bit easier said than done. Like, is why, like, for myself, I've reached out to the States a lot to try and find more opportunities because it's just so much more of like a bigger thing out there.
Oh, yeah.
So I really commend them for, making this league and turning it into what it is now. And this year going pretty good so far. With the Longhorns there is who I'm with this year. I was with Austin's team last year, Anarchy, that has turned into the Knights now. But my opinion, I think it's the Longhorns that are going to end up winning this year, dethroning Hit Squad there.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Gotta say, mark your words.
yeah. I'll stick to it. I'll stick to it. I have faith in them.
Awesome. Well, love to hear. Confident. All right.
Oh yeah.
So, for my show, I love to talk about the athlete's struggles and what we all go through.
Mhm.
Is there anything you could share, like struggles in your life on or off the field, that you can share with everyone? And how do you overcome it?
So I feel for me, like the biggest struggle when it comes to all of this is like I feel like not something that everyone kind of notices. Like especially when you look at like the things that I've done, like people looking in on it are like, wow, like all of this is so cool. Like you travel to Hong Kong, you travel to Ohio, you go to Alabama and Pittsburgh, like you're going to all these cool places. Like it must be so much fun and it's so easy, and they don't really see the background stuff of it. Like when I first started, because like I played my first year when I came back, and then I was like, oh, like I'm really good at this. Like I feel like this is something that I can take further. And then because I was in a construction business beforehand, it started to slow down where like their houses weren't being built and stuff. And I was like, kind of took that as a sign that it's like, okay, this is my opportunity to like put my all into this dream that I have. So the biggest struggle really is like this is my full-time job, and it comes with a lot of things of like putting this before a lot of things, like not being super like financially like up, or like having to go through struggles in that sense of not having work or whatever, trying to find money here or there, whether it's like getting rid of materialistic things to put into your dream, or whether it even comes down to like I travel a lot, so like I miss a lot of things like important dates like holidays and birthdays, to where like people notice that. So I feel like it's really a mental struggle that most people don't see when it comes to pursuing a professional football career. Like you have to give up so much, and it definitely takes a toll on you mentally. Like there's definitely times where I'm like just want to just give up, and it's hard to push through, but then when you do, it's you see where you get to see the results, and you're like, okay, like this is why I'm doing this. And you just kind of got to overcome it mentally, and I feel like it makes you better in the long run.
There we go. So, safe to say, staying on track, not giving up, and just having the right mindset has helped you through all this.
Yeah, 100%. Just and like obviously having people that are like good and trustworthy in your corner, and having your back, even if it's just like having a conversation or something like that, is a big help. But yeah, just being mentally strong and like pushing through.
Okay, that's awesome. Of course, well, you can thank them later, but right now we're going to go back to the Longhorns. So, of course, like you said, play for the Longhorns in Arena and Power Five. What was
Yeah.
the first year like in the Power Five with the Horns?
First year was great. I thought it was really good. Like I feel like it for me, I only played in the NFC for 2 years, but I feel like there was a big change. Like I feel like they were very, very much more up on like being like productive as a league, like keeping stats better, making sure every game had film. That was a huge thing for me when I was in the NFC, is that a lot of the times there wasn't film. And for me, like trying to further myself, you need the film.
Oh yeah,
Film is everything. So when there was games that you don't have it and you have a good game, you're like frustrated. So I think that was a huge part for me, of like they were actually like doing the proper things, and not just hosting games to host games, but like doing it in a way that can push people further if that is what they're choosing to do. But yeah, it was great experience with the Longhorns. It was again still Coach Cause is the coach and owner of that team, so I was more than happy to go and play with him. Again, like still a bunch of other great players on that team. Dustin Murray, just like I was with the Jags. Dave Cuthbertson was as well too. He's the defensive coordinator. Great to be able to learn off of him, and just play his kind of defense. And obviously we made it to the championship. Ended up losing that game over some, mental errors and things. But I think coming back next year, coming back a little bit more mentally strong, more mentally prepared, I think that they are going to be the ones that are going to win the Power Five next year. I got full faith in the Longhorns, indoor and outdoor. Uh, I feel like they got a lot of great talent. Even last year they had a lot of great talent, but this coming year there's a couple more guys that I know that are coming in that are going to be like huge different makers for them.
there you go. It's the year of the Longhorns. Gotta hook them up.
It is. I said it's 2026, a double championship. I think.
There you go. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to actually watch the games this year because of course, I love football. I'll check out any type of ball, and now doing this show, I get to actually find out more leagues, which brings us to the IFA. What is the IFA for people who don't know? And how did you play for the Tennessee Hornets, even though you only played like 2 games?
Yeah. So the IFA is International Alliance Football. International Football Alliance. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. Um,
I am too.
so it's a football league that is newer in the states, but they're really trying to be like a really good like stepping stone for a lot of players that coming out of college or coming out of semi-pro ball that don't really have another place to go. it's a
Mhm.
good place for them to come play high level football and, maybe move on to like upper level teams. It's a really good place to get like good film. Obviously, because the competition that you're going against is all top tier guys. Like even when I was on the Hornets, we played against the Huntsville Astros. The names that were on that team, like including like I don't know if you've ever seen the Last Chance U, guys like DJ Law was able to play against
Cool.
guys like that.
Yeah.
The corner that played on my side of the defense, he was Marshawn Lynch's cousin. Like just like
Damn.
there's a bunch of like huge names that are coming together to try and take the next step, or maybe didn't have a good opportunity and needed something because like even for me, like I was saying before too, like Canada, like opportunities are far and few between. So to have somewhere like that where you can go and kind of put your name out there is huge. Um, like obviously, like any league, really, there's growing pains when you're starting off. So yeah, like I only ended up playing the 2 games with the Hornets there because they were a showcase team for the IFA, so they weren't technically in that league yet because they
Yeah.
were still building on that. So we had the 2 games, and we were supposed to have 2 more games, but the teams ended up folding. That was a Tampa Bay team, and then a team that was in Mexico as well too. So we
Okay.
were supposed to have more games, but it kind of like fell through. And I think at that point, the IFA was like, okay, we're going to take this opportunity to restructure and make things better, which is definitely what they have done this year. They have 6 teams now, and they're like making huge leaps and bounds, like not only signing players here and there, like from like high name universities and stuff, and like big name players. Their games are all going to be streamed on like big networks like the Zone, Amazon Prime. Like you're going to be able to find those games like all over the place. So I think it's a huge opportunity for like any players that are really like looking to take that next step.
Damn. Yeah, because I know some guys from the Alberta Football League are going to play, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of signings, of course, you said before he signed with the Georgia Rebels.
Yes.
What was the recruitment process like for you for that?
So it kind of like I message so many teams. Like I've messaged like any team and every team that's out there, send them
Mhm.
my film and everything. Like you got to do your due diligence. So
Oh,
I had messaged them, and then they seen like my film and stuff. Coach Scotty reached out to me and just kind of like let me know about the culture of their team and like what they're looking for, like the athletes that they're looking to bring in. Um, so like they really wanted like a lot of like dedicated players to come onto their team. And when me and him had a phone call conversation, we kind of just like chit chatted about that. And I think he was really like, obviously happy with my film. Like my highlights, and as well as he watched my game with the Huntsville, like against the Huntsville Astros. So he was like, yeah, we'd love to like bring you out. I'm the first Canadian on that team as well too, but
nice.
yeah, no, he was super excited to get me out there, and I feel like this process so far has been really great. Like it's showing the difference because like I've experienced a lot of like semi-pro teams. It's definitely showing the difference in like a pro level team, the way that he like just takes care of so many things already, like making sure that like all of the players are in the know, sending us things to like continue our learning before we get there. Because I'm not supposed to head out until March. Will
Okay.
be our training camps, and then games start in April. So yeah, it's a really cool experience, and it's refreshing to be like at that level.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. One thing I'm curious about: do they pay for you being there, or is it kind of like, okay, you're here, you can work, and just kind of vice
No,
versa?
yeah, it's a paid professional. So they do all the housing, food, and all of that, and then you get paid per game plus incentives, and
Nice.
then playoffs and stuff like that.
Okay. Because it would really suck if you had to fly there, pay yourself, fly back just to work
Yeah,
back and forth.
that's that is what I was doing with the Hornets. I
Oh,
flew to Alabama to play that game, flew back, and then flew to Pittsburgh to play that game. And then I was supposed to stay for the last 2 games, but then it fell through. Like, luckily, right after that game. So then I didn't stay longer than I needed to.
Yeah. I think your wallet thanks you for that. Well, thanks them for that.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my God. Yeah. So it's a lot of money that's been put into this so far. I've definitely like spent thousands of dollars on flights and everything, food and all of that stuff. So it's that's another nice part about this is that knowing I'm going into this like being a professional and getting paid and not having to worry about all of that stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome. Now, do you actually get time to yourself because you play in the Power Five, the arena, and now this? Is there like 1 month for you to play football?
Um, sometimes I take small breaks. I feel like a huge thing for me is like staying active with it, and I feel like I'm addicted to like opportunities. So like I get a lot of message. Like I have so many teams that are like, oh, like come play or whatever, here or there. Like especially now that I'm kind of getting my name out there a little bit more. So whenever I hear like the opportunity, I'm like, like I should rest, but like I also just love playing football. So like I take like I've basically been playing football for like 3, 4 years straight now, just like not taking any breaks. Like even after my first season, I like played like a touch football league in between there too. Like there was one day when I was in the GTIFL for the first year, I played one of their games and then went and played a touch game right afterwards because it was like, oh, there's somebody needs me to play, so I'll just go play whatever. I definitely
Jeez.
an addiction of mine.
Gonna say I don't blame you because if I had that opportunity like 10 years ago, I'd probably do it too. But playing
Yeah,
last year, I was like, okay, my body can handle it. So just hearing that,
yeah,
I don't think I was. My body's gonna fail me.
yeah, yeah. Going from one team right to the next team, like, and playing in these states, guys, too, is tough. Like, there is definitely a level of athleticism and skill when it comes to Canadian versus states. I definitely would say that.
True. Do you think the Canadians are slowly catching up to the Americans?
I think so. Yeah, there's definitely. I think it's just that their quantity of like really talented players are much more because in the states like football is such a huge thing that like even from a young age like it's super serious. Like they take it so serious where like I feel like a lot of times like there's a lot of guys in Canada that do take it seriously like that, but then there's a lot of guys that don't really you know just like playing for fun or whatever, just because they love football. And that's like, oh, it's great. Like, I commend those guys to be able to, go and do that like that. But for somebody like myself, that's like putting everything I have into this, it's nice to play against like real competition that like those guys are like this is their life too.
Oh yeah. So you didn't feel like going down the hockey route like 90% of Canadians?
um, I've had thoughts about it. I'm a really good skater and everything. I just never like my brother was big into football as well, and then my mom was huge into football, so it just kind of like came from a family place. Like my brother played with the Hamilton Hurricanes and like played in the junior teams with like the Tie Cats and stuff like that. So that's kind of like growing up and seeing him do that is kind of like how I really got further into that than hockey because nobody that I really knew growing up played hockey that much.
Okay. So since it's a football family, what is your team? Well,
Yeah.
your family team.
Pardon?
What is your family's team? Like, are you like Patriots
Oh,
fans or like
we're
Bills?
we're
Like,
divided. We're divided.
okay.
So
All
I'm
right.
a Vikings fan. My brother is a Chiefs fan. My mom is a Colts fan. Yeah, I know. My uncle is a Seahawks fan, and my nephew's an Eagles fan. Like nobody is like we're all divided.
Yeah,
Makes
like
for
we're not covering
interesting
the.
football nights, though. No.
Oh, I bet especially when teams are playing each other.
Oh yeah, especially when it's me and my brother. It's always like a big rivalry.
That's awesome. All right. All right, Brennan. We're coming close to the end here. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for your football journey so far? I can say your exciting football journey.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many people like I like when I was thinking about the question of like, oh, is there anybody that I would thank? Like there's millions of people that come to my mind. Really, for me, like the biggest people, like so, like even just starting with the coaches, like obviously Coach Cause, like without him and the way that he welcomed me into football, like I don't think that I would be here in the place that I am right now. So like obviously a huge help, shout out to him. He's really been a huge part of my football journey. Um, Along with lots of other coaches as well too, like Coach Liston as well too. He was the coach for the Oakville Longhorns, but he's the owner of Mifa Football, which has really furthered me more than anything, like getting to play with Team Canada and Team World, and everything that he's just done for me so far too. Like obviously, got to have a huge shout out for him as well too. Um, and then Justin Goldson and Coach Fred, that was one of my coaches for the Tennessee Hornets. You know them, welcoming me in like they did. And how that opportunity kind of paved the way for the opportunity that I have today. Um, and then even just all of the players that I've played with, whether it's, players from Jags, the Longhorns, Ohio, Hornets, Team World, Team Canada, like all of those guys are really a big part of my journey, whether it's, we're, helping each other or it's just like them, being up on me or being up on them, just hyping each other up. Just really good relationships and friendships that I've built through those teams. And of course, shout out to my family as well, too. My brother always being there for me, being my football inspiration, really. And my dad and my sister, being just really supportive. And my girlfriend as well too, being really supportive of everything. She has to deal with a lot of the me not being around,
Mhm.
and going on trips and stuff like that, and her sticking by my side is a huge help for like everything that I do. Like I definitely have to give a big shout out to her. um and then, of course, none of this is anything without my mom. My mom is my biggest supporter. She's my number one fan. She gets to every game that she can. She's the loudest person out there. Like there's no part of the field where I can't hear her yelling my name. And if she can't make the games, she's watching them online or she's sharing things about me playing football. Like I know that she is so proud of me more than anybody in this world. And I would be nowhere without her. So it's obviously my biggest shout out goes to her for sure.
Perfect. And as your number one fan, she will be watching this. So we say thanks,
Yeah,
Mom,
for sure.
everything. None of this is possible without you.
No, none of it. None of it.
Perfect. All right, Brendan. I don't know if you're familiar with my outro. It's something new I've been starting now.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it?
I'm not. I did not see the last one. I was watching the videos. I did not see the end of it.
Perfect. All right. So usually I say Mike checking out, but now I want you to say Brandon checking out.
Okay. Brandon checking out.